Hey there, welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. My name is Raven, and today we are going to be finally going over my Mabon reset. It took me forever to edit this, and I am so stinking sorry, but basically I wanted to start doing quarterly resets in sync with the equinoxes and solstices to help bring in my spiritual side, to balance out my very strong analytical side, and try to create a balance that was bending with the seasons, really create more seasonal changes that just are better for your mental health too. Originally, I wanted to have the entire week just for this reset and be my sole focus. However, I also launched my Etsy shop this specific week and had orders to work on, which is really great news, but also poor timing. Also, part of poor timing, I was behind on videos, so I had to edit videos, and then I wanted to start batching content to start posting across all platforms daily for my personal accounts and my new Etsy accounts. So go ahead and laugh. It's completely fair. Completely fair. I really tried to do everything at once, while also resetting my home and my life, and it was such a bad idea. The first day of the reset, I wanted to do a little mini studio vlog. However, if you missed what I was trying to show you, someone had switched I was hoping to buy with a tube of stenciling paper, which are very similar colors to the vinyl that I was trying to buy, so I couldn't work on the order, and I had to order in more vinyl, which thankfully I have wonderful customers who are very understanding of really weird things like that happening. But that was not a great tone to set for the week, and I don't think the week was bad, it's just that I definitely burnt myself out. So the focus of this day was I really just wanted to give myself some time to have a mental reset, to figure out the direction of the week so that, we had some good planning going. So first I wanted to focus on how I currently feel, because at the time I was feeling very overwhelmed, almost claustrophobic with just how much I was putting on my own plate, which it kind of makes sense with the amount that I thought was a good idea to put into 1 week. I also focused on how I want to feel, and I also tried to do a perfect day exercise, which is where you just write out what you want your perfect day to look like. That's actually not my thing. I've tried it in the past, and I've had varying experiences with it, but this day just wasn't my thing. I tried it, didn't work, and so I just moved on. I also went over my morning routine and general habits just to figure out, what's working, what's not working. Do I need to reconfigure how some things are going so that I can get this habit to work for me, or do I just need to put it down for now? And that was a really nice thing to think about. And then I just started breaking down habits that make me feel overwhelmed, which all boiled down to 3 habits, all of which my husband and close friends have been very loudly pointing out at me for a while. And then I just broke down how, what I want to feel like and things that actually make me feel like that, and tried to see if there were habits that I could bring in regularly or time that I could schedule weekly to make it a regular thing for me. And then I went ahead and did a Google Calendar overhaul. I wanted to go with this pumpkin pie color scheme and fewer small chunks throughout the day to allow for more deep work. I have noticed that I really don't like switching tasks very often. I like to have a mindset of I'm going to work on this and do it until it's done. And if I tell myself that I'm gonna do something for 30 minutes and then I'll switch to a next task, it takes me 15 minutes to be able to fully transition to that next task, which is just really not productive for me. I know that's a part of executive dysfunction, so I'm just trying to plan for that. Day 2, I waited until a video was exporting, and then I started organizing my iPad, and I finally changed the lock screen and wallpaper. I've had this iPad for like 3 years or something, and it still had the basic wallpaper, so I finally changed it, and I'm actually really happy I did. That was definitely a small thing that I was like, oh, this would just be nice, but it's actually been like, it's been really, really nice. I'm really happy that I have a prettier picture to look at. Other than the iPad, I did want to actually get some of the like more physical home things started in the process of settling. So basically my plan was to move all of the movies from the shelf unit in our bedroom to these built-ins that we have in our living room, so that I could move the shelf unit into the sunroom to put my crafts and projects in there. My goal was just to make spaces make more sense in our house. We don't have a disc reader in the bedroom, so we can't watch any of the movies that we have in there. So it didn't make sense for them to be in there, but we do normally have a console or a disc reader of some sort in the living room. My husband likes to move things around, so like they're not always there, but it makes sense to just have them in the living room if that is more than likely the place that we're going to watch them. And I also don't craft in the living room very much anymore because the lighting is bad. And you know, I'm gonna sound old when I say this, but my eyes cannot deal with, you know, some of the really dark lighting and some of the projects that I keep doing, because I still keep trying to crochet everything in black, and it's painful. Day 3 started off as the best day. 1, because, you know, 3, it's such a good number, but it was finally feeling like fall, and I was able to open the windows, let fresh air in. It felt so nice. The weather has not been very fall-like, and I am not super happy about it, but we're getting there. We're getting there slowly, very slowly, but surely. Anyways, I needed to tidy up my office. This wasn't like a part of the reset. It was just like general maintenance. I try to regularly clean Mischief's enclosure and clean everything around it, because hay and bedding just get everywhere, which I know I should have known, but I've never had an animal that eats hay before, so I just didn't think about how messy that was gonna be inside my house. So that is, you know, basically how the day started off, with just cleaning, tidying the office so that we all have a nice place to work and for him to sleep and eat and live. Anyway, Mischief likes to be held an abnormal amount, so I am going to be showing you guys how I've been dealing with that. I really want to preempt this by saying that please do not get a rabbit under the impression that they will let you do this, because they will probably freak out if they have not been raised to be handled a lot, and I don't want them to get injured or for you to get bit because you've crossed their boundary. And I know some people are afraid that I am trancing him by doing this. I am really careful to keep his head above his heart at all times so that that does not happen. He just really likes to be in his baby carrier, and this is completely off the timeline of this video, but I have lost the baby carrier in present times, and it's not going well because he really wants to be held all the time, and I cannot do it. It took me like 20 minutes just to move like all of the yarn that I needed for a project. It is not going well. Anyways, we're finally getting the Etsy Studio mini vlog vibes that I wanted, and I finally had the order taken care of and finished, and I was really happy about it. I did get to film it for TikTok. Have I finished editing it? Yes. Have I posted it? No, because I forgot. So that is probably something that's gonna go up as this video is exporting, but I was able to get in right vinyl. I did have to rearrange my office on Monday because I was having issues with my computer where it didn't want to connect. Even when I had it connected with the cable, I need a new printer anyways, so it will eventually be a thing, but for now, it at least prints shipping slips and whatnot, so it's fine. I will just try to continue dealing with it. Later in the afternoon, I decided to go ahead and do a little bit of an overhaul to my Notion. One, wanted to make everything super pretty for fall. Pinterest has started showing me super pretty setups. Do I know how to get the weekly layout how I want it? No, not really, and I did cut a whole bunch of this out because it took me a very long time to get it to the point that I was happy with it. We got there eventually. I also really just wanted to have my weekly layout just to be like a master list of tasks to do on each day, which I have finally figured out, and I'm really happy to show you in November. I also wanted to set up content management, craft projects, and my shop orders just below the brain dump. It feels kind of weird that I just did this big week-long reset and I'm already out of it. However, in my defense, I did just go on a week-long trip in the woods, and then I came back and had 3 days to get everything else done before I go on like another week-long staycation, because we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary next week, which is very nice and very happy, but like I have no routine right now, so I don't remember what my Notion looks like. But here's what it looked like at least a month ago. So if you know me in the witchy context, you probably know that I'm a pretty big fan of kitchen witchery. Do I use it very often? Not lately, because of the struggles I've been having with cooking and the executive functioning that goes into all of it. Really am trying to get back into it, and so my original plan was to make something like a pumpkin bread or just something to celebrate the harvest season. My husband had been begging for pumpkin pie, which I make every year at Thanksgiving, and I thought that he originally meant that he wanted it for Thanksgiving and was looking forward to it, but no, he wanted it now. So I made him pumpkin pie and he didn't eat it, but it felt very important to add here because I think for me it is a part of the mental reset of giving myself time to do it. I also have this camera setup that kind of works for me to not focus on filming. the way that I had to, which I think is part of what got me overwhelmed with baking. But even outside of like just filming baking videos, last year, I don't think I've actually talked about this on the channel. Last year, I went to make a mug cake. I want to say it was like in December. And I was really struggling with my depression at that time. I was forgetting the ingredient right after looking at the recipe and trying to go grab it. And it took me like an hour to make a mug cake, which, like, if you've made a mug cake and you are familiar with baking, it normally takes like 10 to 15 minutes, and that's like adding in like time to scroll on TikTok and get distracted. So I know that I probably should not have, but because of how bad and how stressed out and how much moral weight I was putting into being good at baking that this didn't go right, I felt bad about it. I just walked away from baking, which I know has affected my channel because I was doing baking videos on a weekly basis, and then I just got too overwhelmed. And I'm happy that I gave myself the time to like step away from it. I started playing with just cake mixes and things like that instead of trying to tell myself I have to make everything from scratch. And it was very good for my brain, but I miss baking and I've been wanting to bake, so I definitely wanted to add in this pumpkin pie, which literally the recipe was on the can and all I did was mix everything up. I am allergic to pumpkin though. Topically, I have it makes me break out in hives if it gets on my skin, so that's why I was wearing those gloves. Later that night, really upset, I was mad at Mischief because he peed on me because he was mad at me. If you have never had a male rabbit, like I have never had, male rabbits will urinate to mark their territory or to like say that they are wanting to breed, you know, super attractive stuff right there. Oh, this wasn't that. He was mad because I wouldn't let him eat a blanket, and it got on my face and my iPad, and I was super mad. So after giving myself a few minutes to just sit there, I went ahead and started stress cleaning because like this was one of those situations where it's not like I can talk to the rabbit to get, you know, communicate all of the issues. So I just started getting ahead on what I wanted the sunroom to look like. Day 4, I woke up feeling very off, so I didn't film a bunch this day. I definitely was having a lot of anxiety from like stress cleaning the night before. I did work on planner stickers for my shop, which are still not done because of how little time I've had to actually work on anything. And then I ran out of espresso beans, and I found out that not having coffee makes my anxiety worse, which is very weird because of what I just mentioned about Mischief peeing everywhere, like everywhere. I ended up deep cleaning the futon, which was not planned as part of the reset, but it was definitely a big enough task and it took a lot of time and it was pretty necessary. I took day 5 off, so this is day 6, but you know, Saturday morning we woke up and we did a coffee run, which allowed us to also restock on our beans. When we got home, I did a clarifying treatment on my hair because it had been maybe 6 months or so since I had done it. I also went ahead and finally cut my bangs, which I really needed to do. For all of that, I randomly decided I wanted to rearrange the entire sunroom. This was a last minute idea. It was not a part of the plan for the reset. However, at this point, I'm pretty sure that plan was just thrown out the window. But it makes sense. It makes sense. So basically the plan was that I wanted to have the shelf unit that my husband carried in here for me over by the corner with all of the windows because there are more outlets, and I was thinking that if I wanted to get a TV in the future and put it in there and have a cute, sitting area, we'd have to have like a bunch of extension cords to get it to the corner that I had it, and it didn't really make sense to have it right in front of all the stairs. I wanted that to be a thing even though we actually don't have a working TV. I just started cleaning everything. I finally finished putting up all of the paper blinds that I'm pretty sure I told you guys about in like June or July. I also want to make a more permanent filming area. It's easier on me. I like batching my content, so it's not that I'm trying to film more often, but when I do go to batch the content, it has been taking me over an hour to make the sitting area a place that makes sense to film in. And then also I just wanted to have more floor space for Mischief to play around in, and I am really happy with how I've gotten it. I will say I did not get a last shot of the sunroom this day. I was planning to do it in the morning when everything was going to be pretty, but I ended up falling and I twisted as I fell and I hurt my back, which is to me comical, not because, back pain. I'm very familiar with back pain and I wish it hadn't happened, but I was so careful while moving all of this. I made sure I had arch support, I was drinking water, I was taking breaks, I was taking more stretch breaks than what I actually showed you guys me doing. I felt really good, and then I had like the tiniest fall and my back hurt so much. So much if you stuck around to see all of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is not at all the reset that I imagined. It's also not the video I imagined. So sometimes that's just how things roll, and I am glad with how things have ended up because a lot of things now make more sense for me and it's just more comfortable, and it is helping me to create the sense of coziness and comfort that I personally really needed. It's also left a really cool impact of just having spaces to enjoy things, and I'm so sorry for how long this took me to edit and how long I was out of town, and that everything has just this was not an intentional break that I took for my mental health or anything like that, which I have done in the past. This was literally just everything not working out in a way that led me to getting the video up in a semblance of a timely manner. But I hope you are having a wonderful day. If not, I hope tomorrow is better. Please make sure to hit subscribe if you like cozy and productive content, and I'm really excited to be getting back to a routine and filming for you guys. I have a few videos already filmed that I really hope I can get edited. I will see you guys in the future with another video. Bye.